Blood and Roses, written by John McCarney. Interior accounting tent, marine fob, Afghanistan, day. A frail, meek John Spendlove, 19, with a shaved head, enters a tent with a faded accounting sign hanging half off. He wears a casual light uniform with massive sweat stains under his armpits. He carries 2 duffel bags and holds some papers in his hand. He sets down his bags and watches a skinny, diminutive young black guy, Wall Street, 22, hat on backwards, at a computer. He bangs away at keystrokes and bounces to loud rap music. He has 3 different computer screens open with stocks and commodities graphs scrolling fast over the screens. A sweaty, fit Hispanic woman, Sergeant Linda Mendoza, 41, stumbles into the tent with 2 soda pops. Mendoza is dressed in full combat gear and gawks at John.
You walked across the base dressed like that?
John stands at attention and nervously stutters.
Ma'am, Private John Speedlove, I
didn't ask your freaking name.
Ma'am.
You don't go anywhere on this base without all your gear on.
Mendoza holds up the 2 sodas.
Even to get a soda. And if you need to take a dump, you better leave early enough to get all your gear off so you don't shit your pants.
Yes, sir. I mean, ma'am.
How do we do, Wall Street?
We made another $8,200, so that brings our total to $743,016 after my commission, of course.
Mendoza does a moonwalk and high fives Wall Street.
Ready to blow this gig. A little more of this and I'm gone, baby.
Wall Street pulls a toothpick out of his mouth and points.
Who the fuck is he?
Mendoza, irritated, grabs the toothpick and flicks it away.
John, Spendwad. Another combat training washout.
Ma'am, it's Spendlove.
Mendoza grabs John's papers. She stares at them, impressed.
Damn. Hell of a shot. Expert.
Mendoza smiles at John and then looks over at Wall Street.
Wall Street. His fitness scores are worse than yours. Just another weak suck PMOS 3432.
That's Mr. Financial Disbursement Analyst to you, Mendoza. We could have passed those motherfucking tests if we wanted to, right, Spendlove?
I did my best.
Mendoza laughs out loud.
Dang, John Cole, back me up here.
Mendoza keeps laughing. The tent door flies open and a Marine with large, dark goggles and full combat gear comes in. The soldier lifts up the goggles and it's Corporal Jenkins, 22.
What's so funny?
Wall Street and
Spendlove, ma'am.
We were just comparing who was more of a weak suck physically.
You know who has my vote?
Wall Street flips him the bird.
Moving these guys to tactical.
Whoa. Can't just yank them away from me, especially Wall Street.
We need them for MOCOs, even if they're combat washouts. Operational needs.
Screw your operational needs. You want to take spend load here? Bring me some signed orders. But you can't have Wall Street.
Just the fucking messenger, Sarge.
Angry, Mendoza gets up in Jenkins' face, nose to nose.
Can't have Wall Street. Get your MOCOs somewhere else.
Jenkins glares at Mendoza. He shakes his head and leaves. Interior drone operations, Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada, day. A drone operator, 25, male, sits in front of large monitors alongside a female, 25, counterpart. Superimpose Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada.
Why are we in this target again? Intel hasn't confirmed our strikes.
They're taking the word for a captain from Nebar FOB.
She shrugs her shoulders. The male drone operator fires away. Exterior accounting tent, marine fob, day. John and Wall Street stroll towards the accounting tent. They pause when they hear a far-off explosion. John stops in his tracks. He gazes over at an area where some vendors sell Afghani rugs, trinkets, and jewelry.
Jumbo, come on, motherfucker. Gonna get your ass shot off by a sniper.
John slowly moves forward but can't take his eyes off a young woman whose kneecap scarf covers everything but her eyes.
She's beautiful.
Hey, Noodle Dick, that's off limits. Can't even whack off to that and not get your ass in trouble.
John slowly walks and then Wall Street pushes him along.
You're dickless for the next 7 months. No fucky-wucky with any Marine woman, and don't even think about saying hi to any locals.
John and the girl's eyes meet. They stare at each other as Wall Street just shakes his head.
These vendors are led on base for a market day. If you say anything to that girl, her father will sell your cooked dick as a delicacy. Really?
Wall Street lets out a big sigh, shakes his head at the sky. John smiles at the girl. The girl smiles back with her eyes through the kneecap scarf. Wall Street pushes John inside. Interior accounting tent. Wall Street takes off his helmet and flak jacket, sits down and fires up his computer. Warning messages pop up back to back about no unauthorized use. Wall Street taps a few keystrokes, smiles up at John.
Showtime, baby.
John watches a large amount of stock info scroll.
So the other day, Sarge.
Hey, let's just say Sarge and I have an understanding. I day trade and we both score on some major coin.
Day trade.
Stocks, commodities, hog futures and Apple computers and that kind of shit. Cha-ching!
Wall Street whirls back to the computer. He types fast.
Whoa, we sell those fucking soybeans and buy future corn, baby.
Wall Street pounds away. John watches names on the screens.
418,000 for Clarence and $842,000 for Linda Mendoza. Is that Sarge? Dang, who's Clarence Street?
Wall Street points to his name tag that says Street.
Don't you fucking call me Clarence.
John smiles. He watches the totals rise on the screen.
How long have you been doing this?
Shit, a year? No, almost 2 years since basic. These non-coms turned their 401ks over to me.
Can you do that for me?
Fuck no. I ain't no charity. You don't have any money to spare. You a new grunt. Not worth my time.
Oh, okay.
Wall Street looks up at the ceiling and then back to John.
All right. So, here's the deal. I keep 12% of all your earnings right off the top. Put me as your power of attorney just in case.
In case of what?
In case you don't give me my 12%, I'll fucking raid your account and clear your ass out. Does that scare ya?
No.
Well, it should. I could fuck you over and you couldn't do shit.
I gotta take a chance. When I make it back home, I'll need some good money to plant.
The fuck you mean plant?
Well, like the commodities stuff. That's plant stuff, right?
And hog and cattle futures?
No animal stuff.
Wall Street gives John a blank stare.
Only invest me in stuff you can plant. The corn, soybeans, wheat. I don't want to make money off of killing anything.
You joined the world's greatest motherfucking killing machine and you have a problem with someone killing a few animals for food?
John seems distant. He stares at the floor.
I don't want anything to die. That doesn't have to.
Wall Street stares at John. John shyly looks away. A pause.
John Bo, you the lamest motherfucker I ever met.
Wall Street hits keystrokes and bounces in and out of the marine accounting program and back into the stocks program.
Put your e-thumbprint here. I'll sign as Mendoza's witness. Gives me control over your bank account in Po-fucking-Dunk, Utah. DocuSign here and here. Gives me access to all your shit. I could even pull your ass off life support if you get a bullet in the brain.
Wall Street holds his finger above the enter key and smiles. He moves the screen showing prices changing at a crazy pace.
Last chance, you don't even know me. Fuck, I wouldn't trust me.
John hits the enter key and they both smile at each other. Interior, exterior, accounting tent, day. Jenkins and another Marine lead an older Marine officer towards the tent. They both stand at attention outside the tent door as the officer barges in. A tall, very fit officer with a perfect uniform and impeccable gray hair stares Wall Street and John down. John and Wall Street snap to attention.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Captain Horatio Benton, 51, looks over the office. He checks the computer screens, but Wall Street has turned them off.
The accounting function of this fob has been reassigned to Kandahar. Sergeant Mendoza was shipped out earlier today. Pack up any pay records and take them to transportation.
John and Wall Street peek at each other at attention.
You are now MOCOs under the guidance of Corporal Jenkins.
Captain looks them up and down.
I know both of you are restricted to non-combat roles. I'll do my best to keep you away from anything that goes boom.
Captain smiles and strolls out the door. Jenkins looks back in at John and Wall Street and smiles.
Get your ass to Tactical tomorrow, 600. Ready to go.
What are MOCOs?
Wall Street throws his hat at the door as they leave. He paces frantically back and forth.
Money couriers, or better known as fucking dead men walking. You can kiss your asses goodbye.
Exterior, accounting tent, later. John pushes boxes of records on a cart. He stops a soldier.
Transportation?
The soldier points across the base. John pushes the cart and a box of records falls off and blows everywhere. John rushes around and chases him like runaway chickens. He glances over at the girl with the blue niqab. She stands hidden in the shadows of a tent, barren mountains behind her. An older Afghani gentleman, Aref, 50, grabs some of the papers and chases a few more. He points to stone jewelry on a table in front of the tent. John peeks at the girl.
You choose. Very good deal.
Aref returns, points to jewelry on a table.
So beautiful, no?
For sure.
Aref peers back and forth between John's eyes and the girl's.
Hey, do not be disrespectful to me and my daughter. The stone?
The stone. Oh, the stone.
Aref becomes more angry. He points to some blue lapis stone.
If you want, buy. If not, move on.
John picks up a large brooch in the shape of a flower.
Such a pretty rose.
The girl giggles inside the tent. Aref glares at her.
It is a poppy, not a rose.
How much?
Very expensive piece. A deal for you, $100.
The girl, Roz, 19, becomes upset and comes to the table.
What is your name?
John Spenlove. Yours?
Call me Rose. John Spendlove. It is a rose. $40.
Child! Back inside! Do not disrespect me!
Wall Street comes out of the tent and watches John at the table next to Roz as Aref is upset at her.
Can you believe this mofo?
Wall Street rushes over and gets between John and Aref.
Shit for brains. Get this crap to transportation.
Wall Street puts his arm around Aref.
Aref, my man. Sorry, he's not well. 1,000 pardons. Hey, do you still have that ring you like?
Aref smiles and walks back to the table with Wall Street. Wall Street looks over his shoulder at John and gestures several times for John to leave quickly. John pushes the heavy cart and turns his head towards Roz. He stops and smiles. Roz's eyes smile back.